Welcome back to Talk Today. It is 7:27. We'll have the papers in just a moment, but here's what else is coming up in the programme.
Storm Babette has already hit Northern Ireland. There's a red alert for England and Scotland, and we've sent our correspondent, Nick Ellaby, in waterproofs to a blustery Aberdeen beach at 7:35. Don't you dare miss it. Now, after students in America had their job offers rescinded for blaming Israel for the Hamas terrorist attack, at 7:40 we'll debate if what you say and do in your private time should affect your job. And after a London tourist attraction had a spell of bad luck after buying a cursed painting, some idiot decided to bring it into the studio. That's at 9:20. And yes, before you said, hopefully you'll make me disappear.
Right, well, let's look at some of this morning's front pages now. The Telegraph leads on a warning from Biden to Israel not to repeat what he called the mistakes America made after 9/11. The Guardian also splashes on the president's historic visit, with Biden warning Israel not to, quote, be consumed by rage. And as usual, the Star dances to its own tune, or in this case, ambles. Its lead is a claim that slow walkers are more likely to die early.
Another proof of why that paper is not worth reading.
What about people who can't walk to the toilet without falling over?
This is from a woman who this morning discovered the jacket she was wearing had the security tag still on because she's a tea leaf.
Baby brain.
Journalist James Bloodworth and broadcaster Emma Wolf back for a look through the morning papers. Welcome back, gang, part two. James, at the Times front page this morning, what you got?
So there's a story in the Times today about... There's a think tank that's saying that migrants who don't integrate are fueling hatred and anti-Israel anti-Semitism. It's Robin Simcox, I think it's from the Henry Jackson Society, is saying that this lack of integration in some quarters in our society is fueling these pernicious ideas about Jewish people. I think there's something to that. I mean, when communities integrate, racism tends to go down. I mean, the whole cliche of, you know, someone can't be racist because they have a minority friend. There is some truth to that. The more you socialise with people of different backgrounds, the less likely a person is to be racist. So I think there is some truth to that. But it also goes much deeper than just like, you can't blame migrants for this. There's a thing around political education in universities. Yeah. I think people are being taught there. Multiculturalism is just a bit of a whipping boy for this stuff.
And it's been found in the upper echelons of, you know, government, of parties, of the Labour Party, you know, a couple of years ago.
Yes,
you can't simply just say this.
Did you say the Labour Party? I'm sorry.
No, there was an issue, of course. But you can't simply just say that anti-Semitism exists because of migrants not integrating.
Because with the Labour Party, that was older white people typically who were engaging in that.
Yeah. And also, what do we mean by integration? It's just a lovely term. This kind of multiculturalism is another one of those lovely terms. We want multiculturalism. We want everyone to bring lovely foreign food here, and we want, you know, colourful, I don't know, outfits. But we don't. But we want everyone to speak English. What do we mean when we say integrate? Do we mean that their children go to the same schools as British children? Do we mean that they will all speak English? Do you mean that they will live in separate communities and eat their own food, but they will also? I don't know. What do you actually mean? When
I think if you go
integrate?
to the inner cities of this country, you'd see that multiculturalism's not working as effectively as some people would say. Now, we've only got a few minutes. There's a couple of stories we desperately need to do. Emma, this from the Times on page 4.
Well, it's actually across the papers. Naga Chetty, the TV presenter, has been talking about decades and decades and decades of gaslighting by the NHS over severe period pain. Jeremy's giving me that look like, and this is real. This is women. And I wonder whether if men had periods, whether we would not have taken this situation more seriously.
There would be sanctuaries where men go once a month.
Once a month. Yeah. This is something that many women go through once a month. Naga Chetty, Jeremy's just hiding behind his mug.
My mother could never say the word she used to go.
I know.
Well, you need to learn to integrate with women.
Well, can you say the word for a female genitalia? Probably not.
What am I supposed to say on breakfast?
What it is, it's a vagina.
But it's funny that we can't use these words.
Why did I always say fanny? I'm so sorry.
It's funny that we can't use these words. I remember the first time an MP stood up and talked about periods and talked about period poverty. Anyway, I won't go on about it. The point is, Naga Chetty has the profile and has the money to go privately. She's talking about 4 decades of pain so severe, bleeding for 2 weeks at a time. Pain so severe that she was passing out. She was taken to hospital in an ambulance, crying to her husband, don't let them do a hysterectomy. She finally got a diagnosis recently, very recently, by going private. And I just think it's really, really important that women are able to get help with severe period pain.
Totally.
With these conditions like endometriosis, adenomyosis that she had, where, you know, cells are growing outside the womb. Women don't even know about this
No,
stuff.
they don't.
So
And I
young
had-
girls and, you know.
Yeah, I had terrible periods from the age of about 12. And I had the coil fitted about 10 years ago. And I bled so much for 3 months that I passed out. And I desperately tried to get an appointment to have it taken out. Ended up going private, paid like 100 quid. And the first thing that the male doctor said to me was, I can take it out for you if you promise me one thing. You've got to stop crying. I hate it when women cry. And I thought, do you know what?
You know what? That is the worst kind of gaslighting I have ever heard.
James and I are going to move on.
Generally,
Stop it. We're talking about
generally,
this.
doctors, gynecologists are male.
Yes, they are, and could never possibly understand.
Have never had a
what it
period.
is like
Don't even
to have a
understand what that
period.
kind of pain is like.
No.
James never had a
And
period.
then we could go into.
Just let you've had.
Should we talk
listen,
about childbirth now?
Don't tell me about childbirth. It's
I don't
pain-free,
think
right?
there's one thing, and
I know it.
absolutely you should have a right to talk about it. I think you should also acknowledge how difficult for childbirth for a man it is.
Yeah.
I've been through it 5 times, and it's incredibly traumatising, and I'm about to go
Oh,
through it again.
diddums. Is it traumatising?
Bless
Diddums.
you.
You really are on it. Now, I'm sorry. There's absolutely right. You should
Did
do
it
that. and
upset
have a
you? Did
Chelsea
you
fair
stand
play
in the
to.
corner and faint while your wife was giving birth?
No, he had a bottle of red wine.
Of course he did.
That's true.
Pacing up and down the corridor with a cigar, waiting to be
He said,
congratulated.
would you like a bottle of wine now or after it's all happened? But anyway, the world's changed. My old man, this is absolutely genuine, this is how the world has changed, was sat on the wall outside the front. My mother gave birth to me at home, walked down the stairs after 20 minutes and said, are you all right? He said, I feel a bit sick, and she made him a cup of tea. I swear on my life. I've got to tell you, James, we have to do this story. This is online in the Mail. This is the French nun. This is brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah, so there's a video online of the hilarious moment, as the Mail puts it, where a nun rugby tackles, effectively,
Go on, the nun! Look at the nun!
an eco-warrior. So the eco-warrior is protesting about the building of a new church, which they say will have
Slow-mo,
too
look.
big a carbon footprint. I wouldn't like to cross paths with this nun. And I think it kind of encapsulates what some people would like to do when they see... I'm pro net zero, I recycle, but if the eco warriors are in the road when I'm driving to work, I would feel like doing that too. So I kind of
I love you.
vicariously.
You're my
I am enjoying
favourite
it.
type of hero. The nun, right? That is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I don't think she should get in the habit.
Wow. Jeremy Kyle, ladies and gentlemen. That is an incredible,
brilliant, isn't it?
Tickets still available.
video. Yeah, I know, exactly.
think that's great?
It's so good.
Would you do that? No, but you wouldn't. You'd be
I think
giving
what's
it.
great is Greta Thunberg got arrested yesterday for her eco-protest.
Here's the best bit of all
got
that
arrested
was
in
said to
London.
me yesterday. Just take this as a joke, OK? Greta Thunberg, who spent the last 10 years of her life not at school or having a wash, but moaning left, right and centre,
Flying around the world.
recently moved, you know this, to England, to the Jurassic Coast in Dorset, near where the Bibby Stockholm barge is. And do you know what that's mostly famous for?
No.
Fossils. She spends her entire time moaning about fossil fuels. I think it's hysterical. Greta Thunberg, yes, throw away the key. Can't have her. Go to school, have a wash.
Swiftly moving on now to Emma. You've got a story in the Express. Asda has launched a frozen Christmas dinner.
The whole thing?
Yeah, well, I don't cook, so I don't know. But how much should a Christmas dinner for
Yeah.
6, a family of 6?
Why are you waving at me?
Because you've got about 76 children.
Nowadays, like
76.
Five.
200 quid?
Nearly 6.
How much?
How much should a family for 6 dinner, full Christmas dinner, all the
At
trimmings
home
cost?
or out?
Cost. No,
No,
at
idea.
home.
Just phone Vic. I don't know. I don't.
Unbelievable.
Anyway,
Couple
Asda have
hundred
launched their frozen Christmas dinner with
Yeah.
all the bits and bobs. You can feed your family of 6 for £25.
That is amazing.
Which is good, isn't
so
it?
everything's frozen as well, which is great because presumably it's semi-prepared.
Yeah, so you've got
you just
your
have to whack it in
Including
You've
your
got your
food,
turkey,
too,
you've got your sprouts, you've got everything. It includes medium turkey crown, whatever that is.
No brown meat,
pork,
no bone.
sage, onion stuffing balls, and maple pigs in blankets. And they're all
What a
like
bargain.
£2 here. The
Pigs
obviously
in
the turkey's
blankets.
£16.
Cold pigs in blankets with cold bread sauce.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I
Do you
love
like bread sauce?
Love it.
Right, that's it. We're done. We're out of
James
time.
and Emma, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
They
much.
will be back in just under an hour.